Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Have a important message to share today. After finishing up the majority of Diamond's biannual reviews, I had many wonderful celebratory conversations with my team and a few that were a little bit difficult. Some that even maybe stung a little bit, but I caught myself because I had to remind myself of something really important, which is that I created this environment, one where honesty isn't just allowed by me, it's asked of all, right? And one where we don't just ask for feedback when it's convenient or when it's flattering. We ask it because we are committed to growth. And I had to sit in that truth for a hot minute, for sure. Because I don't get to be mad when feelings are expressed or when the truth shows up, even if it's a little bit messy. I built this space for a reason because I am chasing something much greater than just comfort. I'm chasing greatness. And I absolutely ask the same from my team. Now, of the couple difficult conversations, if I'm being honest, I didn't totally agree with everything that I heard. But I do understand that their feelings are valid. Their feelings are their feelings. It's their truth. And that matters. That honesty that they are giving me it's a gift, even if it is hard to hear. And just like I ask and expect them to receive my constructive, sometimes difficult feedback with openness and ownership, I have to remind myself to do the same because I don't hesitate to give them my open and constructive and honest feedback. So I got to do it myself as well. That is what a high performance culture looks like. It's not one way. I know that. It is a mutual commitment to becoming better, even when even when it's uncomfortable. And as a leader, I'm charged with making decisions every single day. And, as Diamond has really grown from a team that started as 3, 5, 10, grew to 20, and now is over 60 team members with hundreds of clients. How I lead has had to evolve over the years. What used to be a decision based on what was in the best interest of the individual that I was working with has now shifted. Now, every decision has to be rooted in what's best for the team, the organization as a whole. Now, the good news is most of the time, those align with the individual. What's best for the company also benefits the individual. But sometimes it doesn't feel that way in the moment, whether that's for me or for the individual. And that's hard. I recognize that. Sometimes those decisions have looked like change, which people don't generally like. It looks like, resetting expectations, saying, not yet, right? Saying no, even letting good people go. It's not fun. It's not easy, but again, it's necessary for the greater good. And I have to be willing to carry that weight. And not everyone is built for leadership. Not everyone is built to be a CEO because they're not capable of carrying that weight. But here's what I have seen. When I make decisions for the greater good, it has allowed us to meet the needs of more individuals, more families, more clients than just the one person. I've just seen it time and time again. And so while there's been some difficult decisions that have affected individuals, seeing not immediately, but eventually how that impacts for the better, the majority, the greater good, the company as a whole, our clients as a whole, that feels good. That makes it all worth it. That makes the difficult conversations and decisions all worth it. So while, my team may not always agree with my standards, my processes, or even decisions that affect them directly, I always try and provide context so they have insight into my logic, my reasoning, and most importantly, my why. So, with that in mind, here is what I committed to as a leader in 2026. So, my team can expect me to hold them to the standards and processes that we've set. I have extremely high expectations and hold my team in high regard. The bar is set very high at Diamond because I know what we're capable of. I know the greatness inside the individuals on my team. I see their potential and I won't let that go untapped. I just want to pull the best out of them. And that's how they can expect me to lead, right? That's how they can expect me to show my love for them by pulling that greatness out of them, by holding them to such a high standard and in high regard that greatness is the only option that they have to commit to perform at. I heard this once and it really stuck with me. And I think it's timely as we're talking about leadership here, and that some tensions are meant to be solved, and some are just meant to be managed. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn as a leader, as a wife, as a business partner, as a friend, because I'm a fixer. I'm a fixer. Any fixers here that can relate to that feeling, right? And I realized in this particular situation that I'm talking about leadership and emotions and biannual reviews is that one of those tensions that are meant to be you know really not solved but managed, and just by allowing and creating space for honesty and holding the line of high expectations, that's okay, that's a healthy tension, and I'm willing to go there with my team, and that I don't have to fix it, right? I don't have to solve it, but just manage it and hold that space. And it doesn't mean that it's always easy. It doesn't mean that we always agree. But it does mean this, that they can speak their truth just like I can, right? And that I can handle it. I have to handle it. I have to take it, right? And that together we'll navigate those waters. because knowing where we truly like stand, right, that gives us the power to move forward or not to move forward. And both are okay. I've really come to the terms that both are okay, right? Moving forward, not moving forward. There is power in making those decisions. But when you stay in the middle, right, that's where it's unhealthy for everyone. And some people aren't liking to hear that or willing to go there and not moving forward. But years ago, I was having a conversation with my mentor on this particular topic. And I can remember them saying, right, is that if you can't bear a false opinion about yourself from someone you're legitimately trying to help, you're not ready to lead. Let that sink in for a second. If you can't bear a false opinion about you from someone you're legitimately trying to help, you're not ready to lead. And boy, is that true, right? And I've just come to realize the cost of leadership. It's being misunderstood. Sometimes it's being misquoted, talked about, even unliked for simply trying to do what's best for the whole. And it's only later, sometimes many years later, when you're not even in the room, you may not even still be in that person's life, that people say, actually, I get it now, right? I get it now. That decision makes sense to me now. I know years ago, probably almost 20 years ago, I had a boss that made a decision that I didn't agree with at all, that greatly impacted the direction of my life. And it wasn't for me, it was like within a couple months that I realized what a favor that was for me. But guys, at the time, whew, I didn't agree, right? And when I tell that specific story to this day, not people can't understand why I have such compassion and love for the particular manager that made that decision, where when others would just hate them for the rest of their life. And I thought, what a gift, because it drastically changed my life for the better, even though in the moment it didn't feel that way, right? Because not everyone can step back and see and get it. Not everyone gets it, right? And it's not easy, but it's part of the calling of leadership. And I've accepted that cost because I believe wholeheartedly in the mission and what we're doing at Diamond Accelerator. I believe in my team and what we are building together. So, as a leader, it's my responsibility to ask what part of this is them, right? The individual or maybe the team. Like, what part of this is me, right? Because it takes two, it takes many to tango, right? And then what is the next step, right? What's the best next step? And I challenge you to do the same when you have these type of situations with your team, right? Manage the tension, hold space for honesty, and then rise to your highest self as a leader. And then you want to help your team to do the same. But you can only open the door, and they have to choose to walk through it with you. Okay. So I hope as you are having your biannual reviews or year-end reviews, that this perspective, me sharing with you some of the leadership, challenges, but real growth opportunities, not only for myself as a leader, but also for my team as well. And I hope this equips you, because if you are a leader, if you do run a business, then it is only a matter of time. And it's really good to learn from your mistakes, but I always say that it's even better to learn from other people's mistakes and experience in order to fast track your success. Thanks so much for joining me.